Hello, everybody. I really hope this time the video works because this is my third time trying to record this thing. It's just today just doesn't want to work. It's late. I'm tired. Have a long day today. I just want to go to sleep, but I need to make another video because of the challenge. The challenge is still on, and I am determined to complete it no matter what. No matter what. So, yesterday we talked about Peter Pan. Today I want to talk about HooK, the sequel. It's a very interesting movie. I think once you analyze Peter Pan, if you take into consideration HooK, it just makes the whole thing work so well. So, in the first movie, we established that Peter Pan is that person who doesn't want to grow up and doesn't want to exchange his potential for something real. Now, the movie also tries to explain that if you don't do that, it's not that you won't grow, because everybody has to grow, get older at least. So what ends up happening is people who don't do that trait end up becoming bitter and resentful, and they become Captain HooK. That's why in the movie it's always Peter Pan versus Captain HooK, because that's the duality thing there. So if you in your life you act as Peter Pan, you end up becoming Captain HooK. Now in the movie, in HooK, it's very interesting because it starts with the movie with Peter Pan already old, with children, and you can see in the way he behaves and the way he interacts with them that he's already in his way to becoming Captain HooK. He's already bitter, resentful, doesn't pay attention to his family. And in the movie, when the movie starts, the pirates, HooK, take the children away, which of course it's a symbol. That's what's happening. He's becoming this pirate thing, and that's driving his children away. Even in the movie, Captain HooK tries to raise his son into a pirate. So in order to set these things right, he needs to go back. Peter needs to go back to Neverland and find everything he left behind there. And I think that's a very powerful metaphor for me. At one point when I was in the crossroads and I was very lost, I also felt like I had to go back and try to realize where did I lose that thing that I need to get back. And I think it's done really well in the movie because he goes back to where the Lost Boys are, and the leader of the Lost Boys now is Rufio, which looks very much like Peter Pan, and it seems to be like, that thing that he's looking, that connection with his younger self. And it's very interesting that once he makes that connection again, when he recovers all of his memories and he can start flying again, he becomes so connected with it that he forgets about his family and he starts becoming like Peter Pan again. And I think it's in the scene where Tinkerbell casts a spell on herself to grow to human size and tries to convince Peter Pan to stay there with her. Is then when he remembers what he's there, why he went there for: his family, his children, his wife. And then he decides to go back and to face Captain HooK, which is his the future that he was heading in the beginning of the movie. So facing him in this moment is, in a way, facing him represents him trying to change course in his life, so not to become him in the future. And it's very interesting that in the middle of the fight, there are all the Lost Boys are fighting the pirates, and Rufio challenges Captain Hook. So it's like the past facing the possible future. And spoilers, Hook kills Rufio. And that's another very powerful metaphor, because if Peter Pan is destined to become Captain Hook, in order to avoid the destiny, Peter needs to let some part of him die, pretty much. And I think that's something, at least I think, is very, very real. You can't grow without letting some things go. I think that is the key element that makes the whole thing work. Because in the first movie, you get to establish who Peter Pan is, what is HooK, that connection that they have, that even though they're antagonistic and they're very different, right? One is young and ideal, and the other one is old and bitter. But it's there, the connection, that if you stay young and ideal throughout your whole life, you end up being old, resentful, and bitter. And in order to avoid that, when you're moving through life, you need to let some of those things go. You can't stay young, naive, and ideal forever. And that, for me, that's why it's so powerful. And when he lets that thing go, he can beat the pirate, can take his children home to his wife, and can live a happy life. And for me, I have to say that still to this day, where I'm very focused on growing as much as possible, I do feel a very strong connection with my young spirit or something. I think that all of my art and creativity stems from it. So for me, it's always, the thing I'm constantly asking myself is, how can I grow, and what things can I let go of? But like, there's some things that I don't want to give up. There's some things that I don't want to let go, because I think they're very much what makes me me. So it's a struggle, It's not easy. It's not science. It's not, it's very hard to determine. And it's a very tricky thing to do. I am very happy to what I've done so far in that regard, but I'm constantly asking myself this: how can I grow without losing what makes me me? And what parts of me I need to let go of? That's another tricky thing. And it's hard, it's really hard. But I think everything that is worthwhile is hard. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Just something to think about. And if you get a chance, just watch these movies again with this new, fresh perspective. And I think you can get something out of it, out of the whole experience. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Going to bed. It's late. Bye.